Hey everybody, in this very short video, we're going to talk about Christian singles and what it means to find the one. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. Make sure you hit subscribe right down here in this corner of the video. There's a button, click that, click the bell so you don't miss out on any of our new content. Well, I've worked with Christian young adults, singles for a really long time. I've answered more than my fair share of Bible questions, life questions, spirituality questions, philosophical, ethical questions, and the questions that keep on coming back around are questions pertaining to finding your life's mate. I can see the faces of those in their late 20s, early 30s, yes, even some in their early 40s that say, Pastor Scott, help. I really want to be married. I can hear the longing in their voice. I can see the fear behind their eyes. I can see the concern on their brow. They say, I just want to be married, but nothing's happening. Or maybe I've been on so many dates and I just haven't found the right person. And then regardless of what scenario they find themselves in, they might say something like, I just don't want to miss the one. Well, let me give you some things that I consider to be important for Christian singles to remember. Now, obviously, throughout all of this, you should never forget to trust the Lord. That should go without saying. But so long as you're searching for the one, let me just start by saying first, there's no such thing as the one. There is a type. The Bible never talks about the one or soulmates. That's the stuff of romance novels and rom-coms, all right? It might make for some emotionally satisfying entertainment, but your life is not a movie. You are not a character in a Nicholas Sparks novel. There are billions of people on planet Earth, and the idea that you could somehow miss the one individual that was your shot at marital bliss, at happiness, that's just not supported by Scripture. You need to focus on the practical rather than the mystical. There may not be a solitary soulmate out there for you with your name written on their heart in invisible ink, but there absolutely is a type of individual that is ideal for you. And there are many, many, many people that fit into that type. So that's where you should focus your attention. In light of that, number two, make a list. Now, I'm not talking about a list of names. I'm talking about a list of attributes that comprise the type of person that you want to be with. And at the top of that list had better be the phrase, born again. Now, why is that important? That they be a Christian. Because if you are a committed Christian, that is the single most important area of commonality that you can have with another person. 2 Corinthians 6:14 says, do not be yoked together with unbelievers. Many interpret that as having to do with not marrying a non-Christian. Now some say, well, surely that's a broader application there, having to do with not entering into a business partnership with a non-believer. Okay, there probably is a broad application there, but at a minimum, if you're not supposed to enter into a business partnership with a non-believer, you definitely shouldn't be marrying a non-believer. Believe me, you're sparing yourself some major hardship later in life if you avoid this pitfall. So, at the top of your list, put your spiritual non-negotiables. Born again, loves Jesus, spiritual leader, same beliefs. Very important that you have similar doctrinal beliefs. If you're tied to a specific denomination, you best look for somebody that's committed to that same denomination. You need to have shared theological views, all right? After that, you put your shared goals, family-oriented stuff. How many kids do you want? They better want similar amounts of children. Views on career, views on roles within the family. What does dad do? What does mom do? Etc. How to discipline kids. If political persuasion is important to you, put it on the list. After that, whatever else is important to you. And please, oh please, put some physical characteristics on this list. Don't feel shallow about that. If it matters to you, it goes on the list. If you're into tall, dark, and handsome, put it on the list. If you're into short, pale, and hairy, put it on the list. It's your list. Now, after you've laminated the list, Number 3, go to work on you. This is where you start going to work on yourself. You try to be the type of person that type of person would want to be with. Now, this may mean revisiting some spiritual disciplines that you've grown a little lax in. Might involve taking better physical care of yourself, and some diet changes, some exercise perhaps. Might involve getting a job, keeping a job, all right? Now, some say, well, this is who I am, all right? If they don't like this, then maybe we're not meant to be together. Oh, please. Look, you have standards. Isn't it reasonable that other people would have standards too? Well, of course it is. So do some inventory personally and raise the bar a little for yourself. Don't try to be fake. Don't try to be something you're not, but be open to self-improvement. Hey, we all need it. And then get practical. Where do godly singles, Christian singles, hang out? Well, over there. Well, go over there. And before you do, take a shower. Brush your teeth, shave, put on some nice clothes, some perfume, some cologne, whatever. Comb your hair, brush your hair. Get practical with it. There's a line in The Shawshank Redemption. Get busy living or get busy dying. I mean, if you're complaining about wanting to be with someone, you got to get practical about that. And then number 4, recognize God's sovereignty. All right? When a relationship falls apart, that's happened to most of us, we tend to take it very personally, especially when we're young, as though the person has rejected us. And we think of ourselves as a failure. But just know this, it may well be that God is protecting you. He's sparing you, perhaps, from some major heartache down the road. Many Christians look back on their younger days and they think about relationships that never materialized for whatever reason, and they realize how miserable they would actually be if things had gone according to plan. God is smarter than you. His ways are not your ways. You got to trust in that. You might say, yeah, but I'm getting older. What if that was my last shot? What if that was my last real hope for happiness? Look, I'm not God. And because I'm not God, I don't know the future. Therefore, I'm not going to say to you, hey, don't worry. Somebody else will come along. I don't know that, okay? Not everybody gets the fairy tale that we all dream about or we all envision. But here's what I can say. It is far better to be a single Christian committed to the Lord than to be somebody who is married but tied to the wrong type of person for the rest of their life. You don't want to be married and miserable just because you're tired of being single. So you've got to know your non-negotiables. Don't compromise. Be flexible in areas where you can, and trust God with the details. I hope that encourages you. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next time.